right, guys, welcome to another episode of the FITT podcast. And with my boy Yusuf once again. We're back. We're trying to stay more consistent with it. So, tonight's episode, we're kind of doing a part three of really kind of just overall nutrition, um, and eating and weight loss myths that we kind of hear in our everyday lives with clients of our own, experiences of our own, and just things in everyday social media that you hear and see. Um, so we're gonna kind of start off. I'm gonna ask Yusuf a couple questions here, but we're gonna start off with, the one of the big myths that I hear a lot is calories are just calories. That as long as you are in a deficit, which for people who aren't sure what that means, it's like, well, I think the average daily caloric intake is like 2,000 calories or whatever it is. How you guys could find that out, I recommend going to a nutritionist and work with somebody. Don't always use online resources. Ask your PCP. I'm sure they could give you resources too, but recommended 2,000. So if you base it off of that, calories are calories. As long as I'm eating less than 2,000 calories, I'm going to lose weight, and I'm going to kind of get my body in where I want it to be and how I want it to look in the mirror. Um, so let's ask Yusuf this. Do you agree with that point that no matter what you eat, it doesn't matter what you put into your body as long as you're in a deficit and you're eating less calories?
I guess I would have to. I hate to say it depends, but as you know, in our industry, what's a trainer's favorite answer is it depends, right?
Oh, yeah.
It depends. I have to always ask the questions when I intake somebody, when I meet someone for the first time. I have to ask about their goals. I figure we're insinuating losing weight. I
Hmm.
figure we're talking about the goal that majority of people that come to us look to do is to lose weight. So that's a big part of my industry, general population that I deal with. Most always, everyone is looking to lose weight. So if calories are just calories and it doesn't matter what we eat, in theory, yes. If your goal is to lose weight, I'll tell you, hey, eat whatever junk, whatever chips, whatever donuts you can eat that you like, as long as you're under that 200 or sorry, 2000 calorie or whatever we determine as your BMR, whatever we determined as your, maintenance calories, go for it, man. Live a life full of vanity. Live a life live a life full of donuts, cookies, cakes. As long as you're under that 2000, man, go for it. I tip my hat to you. If you can fit all that under 2000 calories, go for it, man. I never would recommend it in all seriousness. Never recommend it to anybody. I don't think there's any sustainability. There's no rhyme or reason. It is let's do the bare minimum. Let's put in the least amount of effort and ask for the most amount of results. Let's look for weight loss. Let's do it. And let's just do it by eating junk food. Let's go for it. No. In all seriousness, I love asking people the deep reason why. I want to know why you want to lose weight. I want to build healthy, meaningful relationship with food and their body. I don't care about the scale, bro. I couldn't care less about the scale. I want to see somebody getting stronger. I want to see somebody building a much healthier body composition. I want people building muscle, losing weight, more so losing body fat. If that's truly what they want to do, and say somebody is 50, 60 pounds overweight, I want them to see change on the scale. If it means they can eat their donuts, sugary drinks, go for it, man. But I'm gonna instill much deeper, much more better, what wholesome behaviors and habits. I want them to eat more fruits and vegetables before they reach for the soda. If it means that they are so incompliant and they will never give up the donuts, the ho-hos, the Twinkies, if it means that they still have to eat that, I'll tell them hit your protein goal for the day. Prioritize 2 meals a day that are centered around protein, and then you can have your little junk food.
Hey, those cupcakes, I don't like ho-hos or Twinkies, but the cupcakes, the La Hostess cupcakes, man, those are my favorite, man.
Oh,
I know that white fluff in the middle of it. That is not even that's artificially made 100%. That's not man-made, but they definitely slap. I'm not gonna lie.
it
They
smacks,
definitely.
bro. It smacks. I ain't gonna lie, it smacks. It smacks, bro. I don't know if you remember growing up, we had this whole aisle in the grocery store back when Dominic's was a thing.
Oh yeah,
Dominic's had a little Debbie aisle. Okay,
they
I don't
did.
I don't see a whole lot of grocery stores do this anymore, but we had you can literally buy all like little Debbie products for under $5. You can
Yeah.
get a pack. a pack of 10 cosmic brownies for less than $4. You can
They
get
use and they
so much.
actually they used to sell them in smaller boxes. Now it's like like you can go to gasoline station and get it for like a single, but they now sell them in like boxes like 16 or 32, but they used to sell them in like packs of four or two packs, which they
Mhm.
don't do that anymore, obviously, just in terms of demand and profits and whatnot. But those are really good, not gonna lie. Those are good.
Oh my God. I tell you, man, I feel like as a coach, as a trainer, as someone that exercises every day, bro, I tell you, we've seen the evolution of food. We've seen the
Yeah.
evolution of the food industry, the things that were marketed to, the culture, the behaviors, the marketing behind food, and how much of a huge byproduct of industrialization and advancement in technology and being able to mass produce food on this scale that America doesn't. Like we have seen a world where I don't know if you remember in the 90s, like we had the little Debbie stuff, we had those things. We weren't it wasn't as available, it wasn't as accessible as it is now, which is just mind blowing. Anybody, even if you're homeless, you can afford to eat Hostess. You can
Yeah,
afford to eat those little bonbon, little Twinkies. You know what I'm saying? So crazy to think about that, man.
crazy to think about. And I think Yusuf makes a lot of good points for our audience that in a sense, like when we talk about these myths, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're talking about them because they're not true. There is truths to everything in science. It's just, um, is it actually fact checked? Has it been researched? Has it been studied? Um, so in terms of this, you can lose weight I mean, it really also depends on genetics too. You will probably see bodybuilders or people who eat like shit and still have the physique. I guarantee you they are not just eating and training. There's a lot more to that. But there's genetic people who like you in instance, you see these professional eaters
Hmm.
who are very skinny. If you look at their diet and how they probably eat, I would say when they train for that. They don't just wake up one morning and are like, I'm just going to shove 50 hot dogs down my stomach. They train for that consistently, if you actually watch them and what they do. And not only that, but these people on social media who go and like try brand new foods or things like that or taste test new things. And you look at them like they're so skinny. Well, a lot of that is genetics as well too. Not everyone has the capability to do that. You also don't know what they do on their outside life. So they could be immediately once they're done with that video, go for a walk, go for a run, go for a jog, and their body's used to doing that and they, digest really quickly. Um, they also may train a lot. They also may just have like the ability to have that put it down the throat and it goes down and they just do not have their capability of gaining a lot of fat, gaining a lot of weight is just not there. That is purely, honestly, a lot of it is genetics too. Family history, diabetes, obesity. That is a big thing. When you go to your doctor, you go to a new physician, they ask you, do you have a family history of high cholesterol, high blood pressure, any cardiovascular things, stroke, heart attack, obesity, high BMI, diabetes in the family history, because those things are very hereditary. So it's also along with that stuff as well too. So you may be able to eat like crap, stay under the deficit, and look like you're in great shape. Now, if you get your blood work done and you get certain tests done, would that say so? I know a lot of people who, I think for me, whenever I don't want to get too off tangent, but blood work is very important to get done. It is expensive, I get it, but it's at least good. It's kind of like I don't know, you're studying for an exam and you take a practice exam to kind of see what you got wrong and how to prepare for the second time you take it, like the ACT or something. Kind of like blood work. You get it done. You see what you got to work on. If there is anything, if everything's normal, great. Or like, hey, this is kind of close to getting abnormal. What can I do? Ask your doctor. Eat this, eat that, stay away from this, stay away from you adjust it. It's like that. It's good to get done. But I'm assuming if you, not saying every person, but if you look at those people who do eat like that and stay in that deficit but look really skinny, their blood work's probably not going to be the best. Systems probably might not be functioning the best. That's not to say it's for everyone, but I would say probably more times than not that'd be the case. Um, I would say that just some simple things that I want to tell our audience here. If you do think that is the case or you're doing that currently, there's a lot of side effects to that. Um, Eating, you know, high fat processed foods, high sugars, artificial sugars, which are way worse than regular sugar for you. It can raise your cholesterol, create a lot of inflammatory responses, cause you to bloat a lot, really hard to digest for your liver and kidneys, chronic conditions, heart disease, diabetes, to name the beginning. But also, most importantly, in the nutrition field and health realm, we label those calories as empty calories. So they don't really get you anything. Um, they're high in calories, not in nutritional value. Um, we want food with vitamins, minerals, low in saturated fat, low in sugars, low in sodium. Obviously, there's sugar and sodium and everything, but you kind of give and take. It's okay to put some ketchup on something, as long as you're not emptying the whole bottle. If you don't put salt and all this other crap and don't eat fast food, like your body needs salt, your body needs sugar, so that's totally okay. But there's extents to it that we have to realize. And those are just some of the things. I think that word empty calories is something that is really big that doesn't get talked about, because what you put into your body also can affect, I know Yusuf would attest to this, your sleep, your performance level at work, the gym, when running around your family, taking care of your kids, your energy levels, all that can get affected by what you put into your body. So yeah, you might be losing weight, but in a sense, is it necessarily worth, the cost of not being able to function well, um, for simply looking how you look in the mirror?
It's crazy, Andrew. Like the more I think about this, the more I hear about what you're talking about, dude. The more I look at myself. I look at who I was in college. When Andrew met me, dude, I was what, 19, 21 years old, right?
Oh yeah.
When you're in the demographic, and maybe you can also attest to this, we have dining hall food, we have very cheap food on Green Street. When I remember in the year 2016, you could literally take a $10 bill. You could get a whole bowl of Chipotle. You can get a Dunkin' iced coffee. And I would always buy white rice from Cravings over on Wright and Green. It was like an Asian restaurant.
I
And I
know.
remember collectively, I would always get the rice for my next meal later at dinner. I would have chicken from the day before, and I would thaw and I would cook. But I would get a big Chipotle bowl. I would have everything on it. I would always do double rice, double beans. I would do everything but guac because I was a broke college kid, right? Because I'd be damned if I paid $3 for guac. So I remember all of this. I would spend such like every day, bro. I'm not even kidding you. 3 years out of my life, sophomore, junior, and senior year of college, I would eat out every day, and I would get Dunkin' iced coffee every day. And if you guys got those dollar iced coffees from Dunkin', they put in the whole damn cup is full of ice. So they put in about half of it is actual coffee. They save some room for sugar and cream. And when they start mixing that up, you'll see that bottom, you'll see that layer of like syrup. It's like cane sugar. It's like, no, no, not saying cane sugar. We're talking about this is squirt, squirt type of sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
that
like
stuff,
I
that stuff has been. There's a guy on Instagram. I don't know his handle, but those iced coffees have like 50 ingredients in them. So, and it's you obviously the ice is the main ingredient because it's what takes up most of the cup. If you're actually looking at it, breaking it down by volume and whatnot of the cup, so you're putting like an extra 40 ingredients into your body with a little syrup and whatnot.
It's crazy because I mean, dude, all I knew in college was let's lift weights because I'm an insecure little skinny bitch. I want to go to the gym. I want to add some size, some strength. I don't want to be a little baby no more. So I was eating like absolute terrible. I was eating nothing but processed food, straight up. I would have maybe one meal where it would be a chicken or a ground beef or even a vegetable. I decided to even cook a vegetable. Ew, right? Who would do that? But when you're 18, 19, 20 years old, that's not what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about eating whole foods. I'm eating a lot of food. I'm eating out twice a day, literally. But I'm going to the gym damn near 5, 6, 7 days a week. Whenever I hear, even going back to our old conversation last time about outworking a bad diet and talking about eating whatever you want, you can't ignore the food. I was in what the average person would consider good shape. Oh, bro, you're so jacked. I was skinny my entire life. I have what they consider a fast metabolism. I was eating calories. I was eating pure energy. Did it? I don't care if it was carbs. I don't care if it was fat, if it was protein. Probably I'm eating damn near 350 calories, 3 grams, 350 grams of carbs, maybe like 100 to 110 of fat. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll hit the 100 grams of protein a day. Even 100 is nowhere where I need to be. So I'm eating this huge, super processed sugar, nothing but refined sugar, straight carbohydrates, processed food, food that was made in the factory, food that was not made for that was not made from God. God did not create Dunkin' iced coffee. You know what I'm saying? So I would be working out a lot, okay, and I would look like I'm in good shape. But what happened when I finished college and I got my blood work done? I still have this here, bro. I wanted to even share with the viewers about this. I have my blood urea nitrogen, my BUN is high, 29.4. My creatinine ratio is 27, which is way too high. My cholesterol was at 110, way too high. My LDL, 137, way too high. I'm looking at my cholesterol, which is also a genetic predisposition. My dad has heart disease. Dad has a whole plethora of heart issues. He had a couple heart attacks when we were very young, which also plays a huge role in my life, right? The risks that I'm up for, right? And also the big thing is vitamin D. I'm brown as hell, so we be all vitamin D deficient, especially in winter. So, uh, to your point, Andrew, I tell you, this is like the biggest thing, the biggest pet peeve of mine. When I see an average college kid, boy or even girl, right, played sports their entire life, was very lean, very on the skinnier side. The minute they start lifting weights, they're like, dude, this is so easy. This is so easy. All I gotta do, lift a couple weights, I can eat whatever I want. It's amazing. Do you think at some point that you can do that your entire life? Do you really think that you can be with the 26-year-old metabolism, with the same lifestyle? Oh, you're just hanging out with friends all day. Don't gotta worry about a job. Don't gotta worry about bills, a mortgage. You can just work out every day, no problem, and you get to sleep as much as you want. Like realistically, all the conditions of my lifestyle were aimed toward that. I was able to sleep in as much as I wanted. I was barely going to my morning classes. I was spending 3 hours at the gym, hanging out, talking with my friends. I'm young. I was able to get sleep. I was able to eat pure calories. In our discussion today about our calories, just calories, calories are king. For my goals of putting on muscle mass as a skinny kid, yes, I accomplished that goal because I was eating pure calories. At the end of the day, what the scale says, it's almost always due to what foods you're eating. So I did put on some mass when I was eating all this junk food. I have to always ask myself, and this is what I ask all my clients, is at what cost? At what cost? How much am I willing to give up? Okay. I literally left college with some of the worst gut issues. If I would ever eat any type of food that was not like fit, okay, a food that was not made for human consumption, I would get stomach issues. I was ignoring every time I would go to the bathroom after I go to Chipotle. You should not have to run to the bathroom after you take one bite of some type of fast food, right? I would have a lot of gut issues. I would always have a lot of like burning sensation when I would eat certain foods. And it's like certain foods that have like a certain mineral in it. I remember there were certain foods that I feel like I had inflammation in my gut from. It would burn when I would eat this food. A lot of salty foods I learned. So salty foods, I had really bad GERD. My mom, she takes a few medicines to combat it, but she also has terrible acid reflux. So when I was just being more aware, I was away from my friends after college, and I was really just living my life. I started to become much more aware about what was happening to my body. I was noticing the pains and aches that I had. Every guy who benches understands that, oh, that shoulder. And every guy does this when they're on the bench. They always do this. This is like the universal sign of I've been able to bench more years ago, but now my shoulder fucked me up. But I would be this guy, right? The terrible inflammation that I had in my joints, in my hands, my knees, my low back. I was ignoring so many signs that my body was telling me you're eating like crap and you're not training effectively. You're just running out. You're just spinning your wheels. And it really took me to take a step back. And for me, it was when the month of Ramadan came around and I was fasting. And I just realized how much better I felt when I was fasting from all this junk food. I wasn't eating any processed food. I was literally eating all home food. Um, but this is all to say that I was an example of someone that tried to outwork a bad diet. And I had terrible, terrible blood markers, cholesterol, all this. And a lot of it was my genetic predisposition. I would say that. So it's even more of a reason for me to be so much more aware. Where am I getting my protein from? How's my digestion? Is my A1C on the verge? It's 5.6 right now. So I'm damn near pre-diabetic right now. Right. So thinking about this, right? Thinking about what is it worth? Do I just want to eat junk food, spend my $10 and be happy, whatever? But it's like quality of life. I don't want to have these issues when I'm 30, 35. I'm turning 30 in a couple of years, bro. Don't even remind me. Don't even remind me. I'm 30 in like a year and a half, bro. Oh my God. I can go on for hours about this, Andrew. You understand, right?
Oh yeah, I get it. I think, well, for me, college life was a little bit different. I was very, I didn't eat out a lot, so even being in like a top house fraternity and involved with the powerlifting team and doing internships, strength and conditioning with the football team and whatnot, and being able to train with them and whatnot, the things are always there, especially for college kids. Um, I'd also say the things are always there for normal adults, not in college too. The ability to live a life like that, just different factors. The college is the convenience factor in terms of you always have this food around you, get friends around you. And at work, it's more of the stress factor of, well, I can't cook because I got kids at home. I got to work when I get home. I got to commute in this traffic, things like that. So instead, they just are like, okay, well, I'm going to pick up fast food. And there's a little bit of convenience factor to it as well. But because, I got work, I got traffic, I got family, I can't cook at home. I didn't meal prep for the week, or I didn't cook for my family. I'm too tired. I'm groggy. I haven't eaten all day. I just need something in my stomach. So all those factors, college, that kind of, I say sometimes all those factors that kind of go start from college can kind of lean into your everyday life
Yeah.
after college. And I think that's kind of where it starts from. Um, and I mean, for me personally, I don't eat fast food. I never really have had that issue. I will give credit to my mom for that. Very big on not eating fast food. She always cooked meals for us, so I think that's kind of where it stems from. Um, you know, but I would say for a lot of people, the reliance on that is it can be detrimental. We're not doctors here, but um, you know, we both have seen it with people. Yusuf obviously experienced it. The side effects that health, although you feel like you're healthy, when you get your blood work done, you're like, oh crap, and it's things that you can change. These things are changeable. We want to let you guys know that, like, even your doctors, primary care and physicians will tell you that you get blood work done. These things are easy to fix. You're young, you're healthy. Even if you're older, you can still do things to change your diet and how you eat. And there's not a reason you can't unless you get dietary restrictions and whatnot. But still, then you can work with a nutritionist to come up with different ideas to kind of that's suitable for your own, digestive system, but that is also going to work towards getting your blood work better and just overall body and functionality better in your everyday life. And I think that's like you said, it starts from kind of your childhood, how you're raised, how your parents kind of what they give you when you're a child, kind of the convenience factor. Do they cook meals or do you go out? I guarantee you, if there was a research study done, there probably has been. Kids who eat out a lot, they probably bring that into their adult life and then probably do the same thing with their kids. Kids who eat at home always had home cooked meals, always stayed in and ate. We'll go out obviously once in a while, family dinner, whatever. But cooked meals at home, went to the store, shop, did all that stuff as kids. My guess would probably be that's what they probably do in their adult life. That's probably what they do with their own kids. So it's I feel like creating habits when you're young is great. Even creating new habits when you're old is doable. Um, I think the biggest point just being like habits and changing are hard, but if you start on day one in changing, what you eat, come up with a little set schedule. Boom, gonna go to the grocery store on Sunday, hour to shop, hour to cook, develop that in your routine in your brain of this is what I'm going to do, it's going to make things easier. It just is. It's like developing a new routine with anything else. Um,
Mm.
so now on those points, we want to get to a topic that's pretty similar and to the one that we just talked about. Um, I think it's a good one, but the lower the calories, the faster the weight loss. That's a big thing that we hear a lot. So like it's kind of similar, but like an extra sub bullet point to the topic that we just talked about in terms of, okay, I'll start off by saying this, the fact that people say, well, if I just eat less calories, right? Eat less, I'm gonna lose weight. Oh my God. Um, my girlfriend says this. Um, so she probably, hopefully she doesn't get pissed, but I said that. But hey, it's not just her, it's everyone says that. Clients of mine, patients of mine say, well, if I just eat less, I'm going to lose weight. Well, exactly what weight are you losing? No, that's the point. If you, especially if you're not training, if you're training and you're doing that, your training is just a complete waste of time in a sense. Because like we've talked about in previous episodes, your body has nothing for fuel. So, especially if you're eating junk food, like the topic we just talked about, and it's really as we talked about empty calories in that term, your body really is not going to be having enough fuel to put in your gas tank or in your body. I guess that's the word, gas tank, um, to make your workouts even worthwhile. Or I don't know how you have energy to do so. But just quick points I want to talk about, and then I'll ask this about Yusuf if he's had clients and his own experience with this. But just so you guys know, a couple things. Yes, yes, you will lose weight if you eat less calories and minimal calories. That's just most likely a fact. Unless you're actually eating more calories than you think you are, that would be the issue. You're probably going to lose the weight. Are you losing fat? Most likely not. But again, for the most part, research has shown that eating few calories, and especially if it's, you know, bad calories or bad foods that have really no positive, you know, vitamins, minerals, good, healthy vegetables, fruits, protein in it, you're gonna feel more fatigued. You're gonna feel more groggy. It actually will probably make you have more cravings for unhealthy food. Maybe the option of binging. So you might want to necessarily, oh, I'm just gonna have a chip or two. Been there, done that. I get it. Then the whole bag is gone. Um, but it could also lead to, and a lot of people have them, is eating disorders if you do this consistently over time. I'm not an expert about that, but I will say that, have had friends or patients who have told me that, you know, it took them only a couple months to develop a eating disorder. Um, just because they were so in tune of trying to lose this weight and doing it in such a bad way and not this most knowledgeable way that it really started to affect them mentally and emotionally. And we're not going to go off on that tangent because that's for another episode, another day. But, Yusuf, what's your take on that about just, eating, people eating very minimal calories and they're like, oh, if I just eat less, I'm going to lose weight quicker.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad, but like it's so intuitive. Like I could totally see how the average person who's not very in tune with most nutrition information. I mean, I think just now with so much access to things, we're not even sure what to believe. Like I look at the world through like the general population lens. Like what is like the mainstream? What are people looking at on social media? What's like the average mom and dad and like mid 30-year-old looking at, and where are they getting their information from, right? So then a lot of the times, like I look at this, I see the client who comes in looking to lose weight. And what do they do? Intuitively, they think eat less food and let's exercise. Okay, eating less food, I'm okay with them thinking that, especially starting off, because you really want to give people quick wins when they first start to really get them to understand that you put in work. Hey, there's a result that comes out of it. Okay, so eating less food, I'm okay. I'm okay with. Okay, at least for the argument's sake, right? Eating less food, I agree with. The other aspect that I see like almost like every time is somebody thinking that cardio is the answer. When it comes to losing weight, we think exercise. Okay, that's the other component that I deal with the most of. I look at people that are just hammering their body. you're taking someone who's never really exercised in their entire life. Maybe even those like high school jocks who now they gain a bunch of weight, now they're in the mid 30s and now they're like shit. Like like that is such a common archetype that I see. So when they start hammering their body, you're already under stress, bro. You already have a mortgage. Like you haven't worked out in 10 years, bro. Like we have to be so smart with how we're doing this and do it to build wholesome habits. Like if you can get the mindset and really teach somebody, like you teach a man to fish, you know what I mean? He has fish for the rest of his life, right? You don't want to just show him, be like, hey, eat, hey, client, eat 100 in whatever, 1,600 calories and eat 144 grams of protein. Like we have to really communicate people at like the deeper level of, hey, you're not just here to smash your body. Like your body is going to only run out of fuel, and unless you addressed all the deep relationship with food problems, congratulations. Like you just smashed their metabolism. They're barely losing weight now. They're under so much stress. They're going to the gym because they're telling me, hey, cardio equals exercise equals weight loss, right? Healthy, right? It's like the behaviors around that type of model and type of client that I see, it's not successful. It is like the first 5 years as a trainer, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Let's hop on the treadmill. Let's do the stairmaster. Let's put someone on an incline. Let's push somebody because I thought everyone would work out this with the same intensity that I did when I was 18 years old,
Mhm.
right? Like, so again, like so much of what we see as a trainer, I see so much of let's barely eat any food. Let's skip lunch because that's I want to be skinny, right? Or going to sleep a little hungry. I see that a lot. And then just smash my body in the gym. Let's just run. Let's do treadmill on an incline as fast as I can until I feel like puking. It is such a chronic, like this is why I got into fitness, man. Because I went through that. I have family members that went through that. I have family members that haven't stepped foot into a gym in 15 plus years because they're afraid of one interaction they had in the gym. Like it is everything to me to teach people the wholesome way. Let's feed the body. Let's nourish the body. Let's build strength. Let's be strong. Let's be capable. Let's be independent. Let's balance on one leg. Let's get you to climb up those stairs in your room or in your apartment that you haven't climbed because you're afraid about having to walk back down the stairs because you have knee pain, right? Like think about all the things about physical activity, how it could benefit you. When it comes to weight loss is like it's like a slice of the pie to the value that what exercise and living a wholesome lifestyle can do for you, apart from just let's lose weight.
I think that's a well-rounded point, and it really brings up a good picture, just because of the fact that, like he pointed to it, just losing weight is not in a lot of people's minds, it's like the end all be all. It's like what needs to happen, but how there's a lot better ways to make that happen than just not eating, not eating sufficient calories, forcefully putting yourself in a deficit when you really shouldn't be doing it. There's all, like we talked about, there's also side effects to that. A lot of health side effects to that, um, that I don't think people think about as well, of doing that to themselves. Not physically, not like I said, we're going to stay away from the mental and emotional stuff because that's for another time, another day. And I wouldn't want to talk about that too much because I'm not super knowledgeable about that as much. But I do know that for me personally, like if I don't eat, I get, just for me, cranky and crabby. Crabby is, I mean, everyone's like the hangry word, but there's also a sense in that, you know, I want to tell people, like, I'm sure there's some people in the audience who are gonna be like, oh, well, should I just eat whenever I want to eat? If I don't do this, if like, how am I gonna lose weight? Like, how am I supposed to exactly do this? Like, if I'm eating a caloric surplus or a deficit, like, how do I calculate that stuff? How do I do all that? The point being is just simply ask for help, ask nutritionists. You can, simply, audience, if you guys are interested, talk to Yusuf, talk to me. We can help you guys out. That's what we're here for. That's how we do this. We both have a lot of clients who go through exact similar situations that you're probably thinking through your brain right now as you listen to us. Um, Talk to us. We can help you. But the point being is that it's not as complex as it seems. If you have someone like Yusuf was saying, just break it down for you, be patient with you, help you, and help you kind of see the end game a little bit. and not just think about the end result. Because if you can kind of see the end game in terms of, okay, I can see how I'm going to get there, I can see this process and how it could work, and not just I got to lose 100 pounds by in 3 months, which is not necessarily a realistic goal. Having that goal and you don't meet it can kind of mess with your head. And I feel like that's what a lot of clients go through, and then they just kind of give up and they never go back on it. And like you said, now they're 30 years old and, they were athletes and in great shape, but they have family going on, or they tried a personal trainer, didn't work well, and they just kind of give up.
Yeah, I mean, so much of why I'm sure you also may have gotten in the fitness industry for this reason. You see people that were just burned by the industry. Like you see how amazing your life has been. Like you personally, Andrew, from exercise, how much that's improved your life. This is truly your passion. This is your calling. This is what you were put on this earth to do,
Same with
right?
you.
Like truly, like this, it took me a long time, and I had to realize I had to see it from other people. Like, dude, my whole family has been in and out of gyms for like decades. My mom has had like 6 different gym memberships, but there's a reason why she's still popping around, and she barely like I had to force her to come work out at this gym, my gym, with my other like my colleague.
Mhm.
I refuse to train my mom, by the way. I lose my shit. I lose my shit trying to tell my mom what to do. I'm still the youngest son in the family. She'll never listen to what I say. Okay, so that's why for my own sanity, I have a different trainer take care of her. But that for that exact reason, it took a long time for her to come back to the gym. If she had an interaction where she did a high intensity interval training group when she is late 50s doing a hit cardio freaking hour long class, you're telling me she'll come back to the gym? Clearly not the most appropriate exercise at the time. She was so turned away from the gym. She just thought, hey, this is what I have to do if I want to lose weight. I'm not doing this. Literally, I'm telling you, bro, years, like literally years. And I was like, dude, I have to meet this trainer before you even pay money to see a trainer. Like, but thank God I have a good colleague of mine who understands. Literally, he knows everything as much as I do, if not more. He's one of my biggest mentors. Like, but it's about how you communicate exercise, how you communicate fitness and health for the average person. We need to make a difference in the world, and it's not going to come from starving ourselves.
And it's not. And I think overall with tonight's episode, take home points, you guys, are just simply, ask questions, be informed. If you don't know something, talk to your doctors. You can reach out to me or Yusuf, get help. Is the main big takeaway points for this. But other than that, guys, like, comment, subscribe. That's it for tonight's episode. And have a great night. We'll see you guys next.